another Tripping with the Smiths video for y'all. RVing rookies. He was a total rookie last night. I'll let Jeff take it away.
This trip has been kind of, let's say, it's like starting all over again. It's the first time we've been on the road for a while. First time we've been planning for a while. And there's been a lot of stuff that's happened. We broke a window, so that wasn't fun. Check out our video on repairing that window.
We'll drop that down in the comments.
Yeah. And then we've had some cracks in our fifth wheel develop a little bit more, which is kind of stressful.
Yes.
And we got to figure that out. And we've also had a tire tread separation that almost stuck us on the side of the road, but we ended up in a rest area a mile down the road. But hey,
yeah.
As far as tire issues go, that's not too bad, but it still beat up the fifth wheel a little bit and delayed us, put us in the dark. And that's another thing. We have been getting in the dark every single night, so I think we're just going to accept that. One of the problems with being on the road and working is that work expects you to be there during the day.
Yeah, especially his. My job is more flexible, so I can work different various hours, but his is set to that 9 to 5, and mine isn't.
So, and then yesterday, to top it all off,
that's where the RV rookie mistakes come in.
We were planning our travel to Atlanta from Lake Guntersville, which is really not that long of a drive. But we got a little bit later start, as I mentioned, and then I picked out the place that we're camping, which is beautiful, by the way.
Yes, we're at
Don Carter State Park.
Yeah.
Beautiful state park, which is wonderful, but it's an hour past where we intended to go. So today we're gonna have to backtrack an hour to go look at a dealership to possibly find our new home. So we're gonna check out some motorhomes. And we'd planned on staying close. We could have actually stayed on the dealership and made it really simple last night, but we wanted to get the dogs a walk and get our own walk in. We had these grand plans of going to the gym today because it was only gonna be 10 minutes away. Well, what I didn't do, I got this campsite from a forum member, which is good. I didn't validate that his standards of close are the same as my standards of close. So here we are, an hour past where we wanted to be. So we're driving back today, and it was kind of windy roads, little roads, dark because we came in the dark.
We just came up a hill.
So we got in last night. Set up the trailer. We've been in the truck for a while. Dogs have been in the truck for 5 hours. What did we do? We went for a walk in the dark in a state park with no map.
And no street lamps, lights, stuff.
Nope. It ended up being an over 3 mile walk because we kept turning back on the path going back to our RV because we didn't recognize it from the other direction.
Yes.
So we circled our RV 4 or 5 times. Yeah, we need a different camera.
Or a longer stick, too.
Or a longer stick. So yeah, that was our rookie mistakes last night. So, the other thing we wanted to talk about is some of the commonly asked questions that we get. So, Candace...
We had 4. And we'll start with the first one. Someone left us a comment last week on, I asked for FAQs from people, and this is one of the ones that we got starting off. So we'll just kick it off with that. How do you keep your stuff, your food in the refrigerator? Now let Jeff.
Sometimes you don't because you forget to latch it. And then it ends up all over the floor, and it's a wonderful thing. Hopefully, you catch it early in the trip.
Yes.
Always advisable after you first stopped, go check your RV, make sure everything's good, because oftentimes you forget crap.
Yeah. So
we also, our fridge is a residential fridge, so it doesn't have a built-in latch. So what we did is installed a pair of door hooks, and we'll show you that here in the interim here in a second.
So here is our refrigerator latch freezer situation. Jeff installed these little hooks on the fridge and then on the doors. So that's how you keep your refrigerator from flying open and spilling all the contents. And I'll show y'all real quick of one time where we didn't latch, forgot to, See that nice little beautiful dent area? That's where it can happen. So showing them.
Showing our dents?
Yeah.
Dents
So
are awesome.
yeah, and so I said you installed they just regular hooks, right?
Regular latches.
Yeah, little regular latches. So there you have it. Secure your fridge and freezer so you don't lose all your goods.
So the pair of door hooks on the freezer and the fridge to go ahead and take care of that. As long as we secure them, it stays closed.
Yes, but we have made the mistake of before, and if I can find the video, I'll pop it in. A little side note over here somewhere, up there, whatever. And half the top of the refrigerator was on the. We're gonna turn around
so we don't get too far. There you go. Give you a more tour in the background.
Yeah, on the floor. So.
Yep. And in fact, this last trip when we left Austin, guess what we did? We put our fridge contents on the floor.
Yes, we had a bunch of berries too. It was all over the floor.
I got something to drink. Forgot to latch it. Yeah. There you go.
Boom.
So next question.
That's how you latch your fridge. Put some hooks on there, and we'll show y'all that. So next, how do we get our mail?
So there are actually lots of solutions for mail. It's not as hard as you think. What we use and what many full-time RVers use is a mail forwarding service. Those mail forwarding services are generally in South Dakota, Texas, or Florida, which are very friendly to RVers. And basically you subscribe to the mail forwarding service. They give you a physical address and you use that as your address. It works for car registration, voter registration, whatever you need. So you have all your mail sent there. There's several of them out there. All you got to do is Google a mail forwarding service. We'll drop ours in the comments. Ours is actually in Crestview, Florida.
That's also our mailing address too, on like our driver's license and bank stuff.
So what we do is we have our mail forwarded there. They alert us when it's there. If we want, they'll scan it and send it to us, or we just pick and have it shipped. We pick what we want thrown away, what we want scanned, what we want shipped, and they ship it to us wherever we're at a campground. Most campgrounds, I don't think we've ran into one that doesn't allow doesn't allow mail. So we just we pick when we want it, and we send it to a campground. Sometimes the next campground that we're going to. So it works out pretty well.
And any other mail like Amazon, whatever you ordering from online or whatnot, you can have it sent to your campsite. So you can also do that for other things. So next one is how to find a campsite when you're traveling versus destination.
So when you're traveling, you're oftentimes looking for overnights. The first thing is actually research your campsite, unlike what we did last night. The second thing, for us, we always prefer to look and see if there's any military campgrounds on the way, because they're usually easy in, easy out, and cheap. The other thing we look at is Harvest Host. If you haven't checked out Harvest Host, it's a great program for an overnight. The only downside to Harvest Host is generally they don't have hookups. They just added a whole bunch of golf courses, so you got golf courses as well. But some do have at least electricity. So Harvest Host is our next one. Then we will look for Passport America parks. What I'm finding out with Passport America, we joined that as a discount. Most of them require a 2-night minimum. So Passport America gives you half off of a portion of your stay, but we're finding that a lot of the ones that we're looking at traveling at, 2-night minimum. And then finally, we pick a point that we want to get to that area, and we break out the good old Google and we start looking at parks. Now, in the past, we haven't done this on the East Coast much, but there's also an app called Allstays that's great for looking for an overnight. And then there's Boondockers Welcome that's great for looking for an overnight.
Put all these in there.
But these are really focused on self-contained rigs. So if that's not you, probably not a good site for you. And finally, the last one I'll mention that's good for finding boondocking sites on the way for a quick overnight, Campendium.com. So there's a whole bunch of resources, and there's more coming. So that's what we use.
Sweet. Did you want to mention, if you're military, I'll mention it. Military bases do have campgrounds, so check that, see what their availability is. The cost is much lower than state campgrounds and such. And like Sam, what is it? Sam Good?
Good Sam.
KOAs
or and all
KOA. So certainly check that if you have the military option. All right. And our last question is, how long does it take to set up?
So this is an oft debated subject in the RV world because we travel with a fifth wheel for now. We don't know what we're getting next. And a lot of people travel with a motorhome. That's the biggest area of debate. And motorhome people say, well, I just pull in, turn the engine off, drop the jacks, dump the air, all that crap. I don't know the actual procedure because I've never done it. But they say that they're done with setup in 5 minutes, which is pretty good. I could be a little jealous of that. For us, it takes pulling in. If it's just for an overnight, you pull in, park, get close enough to the facilities that you're at, park, drop the front legs, lift it off the ball of the truck, pull the ball of the truck forward, or pull the bed of the truck forward so the fifth wheel is not on top of it. If you're in a completely level site, you cannot unhook. But generally, we're going to end up unhooking.
Yeah, because you got to level.
Yep, and then you're going to level. I generally only hook up electricity and water at night, especially after dark. I can hook up sewer the next morning because we're good on our tanks. And then I go inside and put the slides out. Last night, it took me 20 minutes, and that involved moving the trailer back about 3 feet because my power cord couldn't reach the power pedestal. Miscalculated where I was supposed to be at. So 20 minutes. Now, the longer you stay, the more you set up, the longer it gets. But generally, that's done in stages, so it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's pretty good. And if you want to see and challenge yourself, of course, time yourself and try to beat yourself every time you go to a new campsite. So.
Yeah. Generally, overnights are pretty quick.
Yeah.
Just how much you want to set up.
It's always a little fun to challenge yourself. So I think that's it for the questions that we've had come in. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out, drop them in the comments, and we'll create a video, create some content for those questions. So that's it, y'all. You got anything?
No. This afternoon we're going to take a lunch break at a motorhome dealer. We'll probably throw up a video of our tour of the one we're interested in on the Facebook, probably not YouTube, but Facebook and Instagram. So if you subscribe to our channel, they'll be there. We're looking at a Newmar Essex, an older one. And then we're going to also look at a few others just because we want to see some other options. So stay tuned for us finding a new home.
All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. If you want to know when we're releasing new videos, pretty much most Tuesdays. So thank y'all. We'll see you next time.
One other thing, if she cut me off, if you have suggestions of a Class A motorhome that's really livable, especially has the opportunity to take out a couch or something and put office space in, and has a vanity that's bigger than 1 foot square, like a lot of them do, because Candace is, she's kind of a glamour girl sometimes.
Whatever.
Anyways, if you have motorhome suggestions for us to check out, go ahead and drop them in the comments so that we can you can help us find our new home. We're also interested in toy haulers, although the selection is kind of, I don't know. But if you have comments about toy haulers, go ahead and drop those in there as well with suggestions. We'd really appreciate it, and you might help us find our new rig.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you. Y'all heard what I said. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See you next time. Thanks for watching.